Welcome back to the Are You in the Book podcast. My name is Eric Lobanaw, the president of the Baseball Blue Book, and today we are joined with Coach Kevin Brooks at Angelo State. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Appreciate you having me on.
Well, it's an honor. I think this is a lot of fun, talking with coaches, learning a little bit about the program. That's what we're going to do today. 15 minutes of learning about your program, what you're looking for in players, and just what makes, kind of your philosophy of coaching and understanding a little bit about you.
Awesome, man. Looking forward to it.
Well, good. A lot of our listeners, a lot of parents, a lot of players, I'm trying to figure out this whole thing, right?
Right.
And recruiting is a big deal. It's very competitive. And what we're all about is just being able to promote the program. So let's start with just talking about Angelo State.
Well, we're located in San Angelo, Texas, which is basically right in the middle of Texas. We're about 30 miles west, the middle of Texas. We're NCAA Division II. This is our 20th year to have baseball. So just, I restarted the program back in 2005. So been there the whole time. We've been very lucky to have a lot of success. Won the D2 National Championship last year.
Yep.
That was our 6th trip to the World Series. And so we were actually the fastest, I believe, in NCAA history to do it. We made it in our 3rd year of restarting the program. But it's a great school academically, a great town, about 100,000 people. And then baseball-wise, we've been really good, and we have some of the best facilities around. So really awesome place to live and play baseball and get a great education.
That's great. So how'd you do it? How'd you do it quickly? I mean, is there something? What's kind of your formula on success here?
Well, I think one, the school sells itself, and as I said, we have great facilities. So for us, when we play in a $5 million stadium, since we've started, we've been able to add indoor facility and locker rooms. I think the indoor facilities are about $2 million. So,
Wow.
And when you're looking at Division I, and you're talking Power Fives, we're up there and surpass many of them. So when you're looking at a baseball experience and see how good you can get as a baseball player, we have everything to offer. Then, the one thing we sold too, because, college baseball attendance and stuff it's at a few places, right? But vast majority, you're probably still playing in front of the same crowds as you did in high school. And the town, it just really supports us. I mean, I think we broke another NCAA record last year. I think we had about 4,000 for our super regional, and we average a little over 1,000. So it's not the most important thing, but it's really cool when somebody cares.
Yeah.
Besides your parents and your girlfriend and stuff. And so, and then just gotten really good players that work hard. We're sort of a ranching, farming community, and I think the team sort of takes on the personality of the town, and so we got a bunch of guys that just get after it and get better every day, and ultimately been able to have quite a few guys get the opportunity to continue to play after college, and then if not, get a great education and go ahead and head out to the real world.
That's great. You hear that a lot, right? Finding the right fit.
Absolutely.
And I've never heard it the way that you just placed it, because I loved it. Taking kind of the characteristics of the town, the community, that has everything to do with finding that fit, right, Coach?
Absolutely. I think it does. And, I'm from Texas, grew up in Texas, and when I first moved out there, West Texas people, everybody says they're a little different. They were so nice for about the first 6 months. I'm like, this can't be genuine. And after being out there for 20-something years, I mean, you just don't find a better class of people. And so it's a great place to, like I say, go to school and then live. And so we're really blessed.
That's great. Kind of the question now is really the type of players you're looking for. And it's kind of self-evident, right? Trying to find that fit. There's a lot of things that parents and players can do to understand that. And it's really why we're doing this, is to really help understand it's not just a name on the list. There's something about this program that they're unique. What type of players are you looking for?
Well, I think the biggest thing is guys that work hard, and I think we're all looking for that. But the longer I've been doing this, where a kid is at or a player is at age 17 or 18 is by no means indicative of where they can be. I think the most important thing is just your work ethic. A lot of times you don't know what that is till you get away from mom and dad and maybe that support system at home. So we try to identify that before they get there. And that's a difficult thing, and there are a lot of things that go into it. Then obviously, we've got to be able to have the ability to play baseball a little bit and see some opportunities for growth. We're a team, on the offensive side, we steal a lot of bases. We value speed. When you're looking at, and then defenses, we led the country in defense as well the last few years. And so, offensively, we feel like we're pretty good at helping you get where you need to be. And obviously, like I said, with the facilities we have, you're going to have the opportunity to work as hard as you want to get many repetitions and then hopefully receive some good coaching as well that'll help you get where you want to be.
That's great. Now, if I'm a senior, the big thing is there's a couple of things. It's I want to play right away, right? That's something that everybody says. Talk about that and the opportunities for that. Also, from a development perspective, we talked about having the facilities and getting at it. Talk a bit about.
Well, I think, and you're right. In the recruiting process, everybody's like, what are my chances of playing right away? And my answer is always, if you're the best guy, we're going to play it because we want to win, right? And the one thing we generally have 2 to 3 true freshmen that crack our starting lineup, either in the rotation, have a significant role as a pitcher or as an everyday guy. So that's about 20%, probably what we bring in. But I would say those guys, when we recruit them, we don't have them penciled in as the starting shortstop or whatever. But they come in and prove that. And so the opportunity's always there. And then I would say probably 50% of our players that are freshmen we redshirt. And that's where the development thing comes. Right. Because especially in the COVID era right now, we still got 18-year-olds playing against 24-year-olds. Yeah. And that's just not a fair battle, strength and just development-wise. And so I think that first year so much, a lot of times guys have the skills to be really good college players. They're behind on the development just physically. Okay. And so I think it's, tremendous opportunity to get in the weight room, get in there and really get after it in your diet and all that stuff. And now we can develop the physical components to be able to get out on the field and compete more with guys that are a little older. But I think whether you play right away, whether you are backup or whether you're just a redshirt and you don't compete at all of us, we have a lot of competition. You're still getting at bats. You're still playing. It just may be amongst the team and inter squads, but, you're probably getting better quality competition when we play each other sometimes than going outside and playing against a different team. And you just got to look at it from a day-to-day standpoint. I'm going to go out today and do everything I can to get better. And I think that's always got to be the underlying motive. I always tell guys, the guys that really come in and they're like, I want to start, they generally fail. The guys that come in and just the process is their focus, those are the guys that succeed, end up doing well. So it's just a mentality thing. If you can come in there and your focus is, what can I do today to help this team be better? I think, a lot of good things can happen.
I think that's great. You talked about fit. You talked about process. I think you hear that a lot with coaches.
You do.
What's the best way of parents and players start really understanding that? What do you, if you're talking to younger parents and younger players, what advice do you give them?
Man, it's hard because, I'm a parent. My son actually plays for us now. Okay. And so, been through that, and we all are very result oriented, right? I mean, you have to be. I mean, we have a scoreboard for a reason, right? And so we keep score for a reason. I think again, it gets back to why are we doing this in the first place? Why is baseball a great game? Why do we do athletics, all that stuff? And, I think it's a bigger picture thing than just ultimately baseball. I think there's so many great lessons that can be derived from baseball in particular. I think it's the best game that is life,
It is.
because it's so hard of a game. And the highs and lows, and it'll humble you in a hurry,
It will.
right? When you think you get it figured out. And so you got to learn to enjoy the successes and celebrate those, yet continue pushing forward towards bigger and better things. And then you got to handle the setbacks, right? The 0 for 4 day with 4 Ks and you kick 2 balls and, it's just a bad day. But, the great thing about baseball is, just like life, you've got a pretty quick opportunity most of the times to change that narrative.
Yep.
And, we all make mistakes in life. We got to accept those and then try to press them and get on. And so I think baseball, and so I think as parents, we've got to get caught up on, the biggest thing I hope I do as a parent is I raised a good person.
Yeah.
And so I still think that's got to be the overriding thing. And, baseball is part of our life. Hopefully it's not all of it. And I think when you look at it that way, and it's very important, and not saying that, but it doesn't make you who you are.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at it that way, then you got a great chance to be successful and get what you ultimately want out of your experience.
That's good. That's good. So, Coach, where do you go? Do you go to high school games? Do you go to camps? Or do you have a camp?
We do.
Okay.
So, we're a little geographically isolated. So we're about 3 hours away from everything. And so during the spring, it's tough for us to get out because the high schools are playing at the same time we do. So we're lucky, in February, maybe we can catch a couple of early season tournaments, catch first day on a Thursday. The majority of our stuff is summer. We're able to get out and go to quite a few select tournaments in different areas. We tend to stay in Texas and Oklahoma, and concentrate our efforts there. And then the showcase camp, which is a great way because we generally host 3 to 4 a year. We'll do one at the beginning of the summer, one at the end of the summer, one at Christmas. So generally 3. And those are names that we've seen that maybe we haven't seen play. And we get an opportunity, 1, to be around them, and 2, evaluate their skills. And, I would say on our roster, I always tell guys that ask about that, probably about half our roster are guys we originally saw at our camp. So it's been a really effective recruitment tool. It gets people on campus, allows us to see those great facilities I was talking about, and then be around the coaches and sort of get a better feel for us as well.
That's great. Coach, I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you.
Really honored to be on.
Yeah, good luck with your season this next year, and enjoy the conference.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Take care. And let's get a real quick picture.